Hello, Bernie here. My name's Andrew Bernard and I'm on Twitter at EnterpriseSbox. Now, International Men's Day. I've ummed and ahed over this because I'm extremely vocal on International Women's Day. I believe that there's been a real problem over the past few centuries. Women are very, very much lower in status. They've been trodden on, they've been stepped on, they've been abused, they continue to be abused in massive numbers. Violence against women and girls means that 1 in 4 women and girls will experience sexual inappropriateness and sexual assault. 2 women a week are murdered in the UK. That's gone up during lockdown. So, and my sister was killed by her partner in 2012. So I've always been very, very pro International Women's Day, and I've never really done anything about International Men's Day. Yes, you got loads of people going, what about the men? Well, that's a really good point. So inspired by Donna at my POV, and also after reading a book by Caitlin Moran, More Than a Woman, there's a chapter in it called What About the Men? And I'm going to lead with the first point, is that all the problems we face in society now have history. And a lot of it is because of the patriarchy. That doesn't mean all men. It doesn't mean you, if you're a man listening to this. We are all under the auspices of a historical system, which, let's face it, has been created over centuries by men. Generally, rich, old, white men in power who've decided that this is the best way for the world to work for them. And everyone else who's below that strata, or is of a different gender or a different race or a different ethnicity or a different background, are not the ones that are going to have the power. So we're all under the auspices of historical patriarchy. That's why it's such a struggle. Number 2, becoming a men's rights activist entrenches us and them and does nothing to support the cause of all of us. Men's rights activists are claiming victimhood against a system which has historically put men above everybody else. So men's rights activists have maybe become politicized, but in my view, they don't do anything to help because they don't really listen to the actual things that are going on in life. Which brings me on to my third point, listening. We need to listen to others' experiences. Social media has exacerbated this, where someone says something, we have to put the opposite opinion. Sometimes just listen. Sometimes listen to people. What are they saying? What are they actually saying? What is their experience informing what they're saying? As a white man, I cannot tell a black woman that she's wrong about something that she feels passionately about because she's experienced that life experience. So try and listen to people about what they're trying to say, and then then the next step is, from listening, trying to understand, empathize and see it from their point of view. That will help me to understand other people's experiences, and it might help with this polarized debate. Number 4 is always, for me, kindness. I try and lead with kindness. I try and listen to people with kindness. Sometimes it's very, very, very hard, I'll admit that. Everything I do in terms of working with young people, supporting young people through the work that I do, not only with domestic violence, but with attitude, with enterprise skills, it's all about kindness. It's about supporting them to support themselves to change their lives if they want to. I'm not going to force anyone to do anything, but kindness and wanting to help people for helping people's sake is where I come into it. And finally, my final point, which I really want you to take away from this, is something that I thought of recently after I'd seen a number of arguments on Twitter about, all sorts of things. Just because you think you're right doesn't mean you have to prove everyone else wrong. Just because you think you're right doesn't mean you have to prove everyone else wrong. Try, give it a go. I'd like to see International Men's Day as something of a welcoming, opening discussion point to try and help us to overcome the issues that we're facing in society now. I don't want it to be a flag-bearing thing for masculinity, machismo, and you know, all the kind of the negative aspects of being a man. I want it to be a discursive, open, listening platform where we can think about changing ourselves to make the world a better place. That's where I start. Start with you.